Hello and welcome to Double Jump Gaming News. I'm Cody Castona and with me is my co-host
Sabina, and this week we are going to be discussing video game news for February 20th.
So this week was a very unfortunate week for a lot of Zelda fans as Amazon has canceled quite a bit of pre-orders from Amazon's pre-order page for the Master Edition of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So if you had a pre-order up, even if you were a few minutes after they went up, yours might have been canceled. So double check your Amazon listing. Make sure that you actually are getting Zelda when you want it and the edition you want, because yours might have been canceled too.
And in other news, a lot of people have actually gotten their Nintendo Switch early.
Yeah, so what happened was there was a... From what we've been understanding, there is a retailer that was unnamed and a worker for that retailer, and that one of the workers managed to grab one from the back room, possibly a few units on top of that, and sold them to to someone he knows, which sold that unit to someone he knows or gave them away. And the person that ended up with it that they found out and Nintendo, made a big deal about and confiscated from, made some videos online and tried to show off the UI and everything. Eventually, it just got out that those were stolen units, and that was including the one that was purchased supposedly from someone else, and became quite a big scandal because Nintendo wants their stuff back. They don't want this out there, even if it's just someone opening the UI. It's not good on their part, so it's a matter of security.
If they're making us wait, then everyone has to wait.
Exactly. The press has it. The press has it in their hands. There's so many places you can go and watch an unboxing video, but there's a lot of embargoes right now on what they can and cannot say about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll discuss a little bit later about some of the things that they've been finding since those embargoes have been lifting, and some bad news has been happening.
I honestly can't even believe that was even able to happen, that someone was able to get on their hands on the Nintendo Switch that early.
In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Halo Wars 2 as well as Mass Effect's new trailer. Welcome back to Double Jump Gaming News. I'm Cody. With me is my co-host Sabina, Justin, and Maddie. And today we're going to be talking about Halo for a little bit now that Halo Wars 2 is released. Justin, what have you seen so far about Halo Wars 2 that interests you?
So one thing I find really interesting about Halo Wars 2 is the fact that it takes 28 years after Halo Wars, which puts it about 2 or 3 years after the events of Halo 5. So I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do with the campaign and see how they're going to link it into like Halo 5 and how it relates to it. Because so far, I haven't seen much because I've only seen the original 19 minutes of the first campaign mission, and it's pretty interesting so far. Like the fact that they're trying to bring in another terrorist group kind of related to the Covenant is interesting. So I like that a lot with it. I think they're doing good work.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that somebody who hasn't played Halo Wars 1 would be able to get into this, or would you kind of say it's a little bit something you might want to push off in case you haven't played the first one or anything like that?
From what I've seen so far, you can kind of pick up the story from if you haven't played Halo Wars 1. It's far enough in the future where the events from the previous game don't really matter to Halo Wars 2. But gameplay-wise, I like they've done the gameplay. They've simplified it so that console players kind of it's a lot easier to play on console because of the controls. So I think they did a good job with the control scheme and making sure that console players are not going to get confused with controls and yeah.
Right, and it's not a traditional Halo game. It's a real-time strategy game. So in that case, you're going to be looking at more of a top-down view, kind of like StarCraft in that essence, but a little bit more geared towards consoles because you don't have the mouse controls. But from what people have said about the original Halo Wars, they enjoyed it even though it was on an Xbox controller, and typically RTSs don't do well with consoles. But if they're doing a sequel and they're already getting some good reviews and good press from it, I can't imagine that this is a bad pickup. Even if you're not that interested in RTS, if you like Halo and maybe you're interested in doing something a little bit out of your comfort zone, this might be a good pickup for you, right?
Right, I would agree.
So do you think that people who aren't really big into the Halo series would be into this game?
I'd say so. It has a pretty good balancing, like unit-wise and gameplay-wise. So I think any hardcore RTS fan would definitely get a kick out of playing Halo Wars 2, even if you have no idea what Halo is about.
Interesting. That's great. So Maddie is here to talk about the new Mass Effect trailer, which just dropped a few hours ago since this recording. Tell us a little bit what's going on, I guess, with Andromeda.
So the video they released earlier this week was focusing on the combat and the weapons and all the skills. And then this morning, they just released the second half of that, focusing on more your squad skills and everything. And they've been very, very tight-lipped when it comes to the actual story gameplay, but they've just been showering us with combat, from online combat to in-game and everything. And the biggest part about this, that why most Mass Effect fans are excited, is that there are no more class restrictions. And if you've played the previous trilogy, you had to pick a class, whether it be a biotic or soldier or adept, and you were limited to the powers you could use. You were limited in the weapons you could use. And with this now, you can make any combination of, whether it be the soldier, the biotic, the adept, and you can equip all the weapons, any loadout you want. And the biggest thing they had was a favorites menu, so you can change your loadout mid-battle.
So you talked about online. Are they changing anything from Mass Effect 3's online, or is it kind of an overhaul of that system?
They haven't really showed too much of the details of online, but it is just, right now, it's kind of an overhaul.
Okay.
So I have to ask, what are you most excited for with this game?
I'd have to say just to see any sort of callbacks to the original trilogy they would be putting in, and definitely the new graphics system looks amazing, and to be exploring not only just different planets but an entire solar system is going to be pretty amazing.
Is the combat closer to Mass Effect 1 or 2 or 3, I guess?
I think it's going to be its own thing because of all the new tech they've implemented into it.
Okay.
Is there anything you've seen from the game that you're not too hyped about?
No, I don't think I can't not be
Fair enough.
excited for Mass Effect.
So that's all the time we have for this segment. Thank you so much, guys, for being here for this. And after the break, we're going to be with Justin for his Game of the Week review.
Peace, education, activism through creative engagement. Peace is a nonpartisan organization that promotes peaceful resolutions to university and worldwide conflicts. We raise awareness on issues regarding environmental rights, social equality, and political justice. Every month, we show a documentary in the Summers Auditorium. You can learn and have fun doing it. Peace. Be the change you see in the world.
Hey guys, I'm Justin and welcome to this week's Game of the Week. With the release of Halo Wars 2, I couldn't think of a better time to go back and look at the game that started the entire Halo franchise, Halo Combat Evolved. Released in 2001 for the original Xbox, Bungie made the huge leap from PC games to console, which was a risky move at a time where first-person shooters were dominated on the PC platform. Many people had their doubts that there would be a console shooter that could compare to a PC shooter, but Bungie soon proved that they were more than capable of standing up to the task. The launch of Halo Combat Evolved broke records, and only 5 months after the game's release, it had sold nearly 1 million copies, which was unheard of at the time. It also impressed many game review platforms such as GameSpot, who stated that not only is this easily the best Xbox launch game, but easily one of the best shooters ever on any platform. So, what made Halo Combat Evolved so special? The breathtaking environments of Halo provided gamers with wide open spaces and scenery that previous console games had failed to capture. Playing as Master Chief, players got to explore the alien superweapon known as Halo, while shooting their way through hordes of aliens collectively known as the Covenant, and a parasitic life form known as the Flood. Master Chief's silent nature helped players feel more like they were ones inside the games. Another big reason that Halo Combat Evolved did so well is because of the split-screen cooperative mode that allows you to play through the entire campaign with a friend. This was very innovative at the time of its release, as many shooters tried implementing this before. Halo managed to make its co-op entertaining and not buggy. The other selling point of Halo Combat Evolved was its multiplayer aside from the co-op. Up to 4 players on a single console can play various different game modes and maps, allowing for hours of entertainment and fun. It's also possible to go into the settings of each game mode and change attributes such as player health, damage, speed, and many more. Halo Combat Evolved won numerous Game of the Year awards in 2002 and sparked one of the greatest franchises in video game history, spanning over 13 games, numerous book series, comics, and a remake of the game with updated graphics that came out in 2011. So overall, Halo was an amazing game for shooter fans and sci-fi fans. If you have yet to play the original Halo, be sure to pick it up as it is a must-play. That's all the time we have for this week's Game of the Week. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Justin, for that retro review. In the meantime, we're going to be talking a little bit about our excitement, but also some of the concerns we're having about the Nintendo Switch. A lot of people are losing connection with I think it's mainly the left Joy-Con, primarily from what I've been hearing. It might be both of them at this point. But basically, since the unit has 2 different controllers, kind of like a Wii remote and a nunchuck, but they're both wireless, they both have to stay connected wirelessly. And when there's a disconnect, I mean, you're going to lose like half of your controllers. That means your left stick isn't working, or you're not able to lock on or anything when it comes to Zelda. So with this, it's kind of become kind of widespread throughout the reviewers. So there's a question of whether or not this can be fixed with a firmware update, or if this is going to be just something that's going to be a defect in all the systems, and is this going to be something Nintendo has to address by shipping them back in? So right now there's a lot of concern with that, but I guess what do you feel like? Do you think they'll be able to fix this, or do you think there's just a lot of negativity because it's Nintendo?
I think if they have 8 days to do it, I think it's going to be a real crunch to do it. But Nintendo's done magic before. I think they'd be able to fix it. There is no way that they would actually send out a faulty product. They spent so much time, even when they were doing the N64, they pushed that off for months when they were making years when they were making it. So there's no way that they would even
It's supposed to launch in end of '94. It ended up in fall of '96. Yeah. So
there's no way they would even consider launching that product. I don't know if they'll push
it back, but I'm hoping this is just a driver issue and not so much a hardware issue.
Oh, well, that's all the time we have for this episode.
Make sure to check out doublejumpgamingnews.com for more content, as well as videos that we post on our YouTube page.
Next week, we're going to be focusing exclusively on the Nintendo Switch,
as well as an unboxing video right on the show for you guys. I'm Cody Castona.
I'm Sabina Rizlowski.
Thanks for watching.